Would you like to improve your reading skills? Is your spelling a bit creative? Does your handwriting need improving? Over the next 12 weeks, with some work on your part, Read Right Now will help improve your reading and writing skills. With characters like Len and Bob, the Kelly family, and Betty and Bernie, all acting out everyday situations to bring you tips on spelling, on reading instructions, on filling forms, and lots more. We'll also hear from people who've overcome their own literacy difficulties and who are now moving on in their lives with greater confidence. Throughout this series, we'll be talking about the Read Right Now workbook. This book has worksheets designed for you to practice what we've covered each week. There are reading and spelling exercises, ideas to get you writing, and there are crossword puzzles and word searches. The workbook is free and you can get your copy by calling 1-800 20 20 65. Our would-be hero this week is Betty, who likes to be well prepared for all emergencies. She's studying hard for her first aid certificate, but it seems that she doesn't find it easy to follow her own advice. However, her chance to shine eventually comes, and she gets the opportunity to show off her newfound skills.
Everybody, stay calm. Bernie, have you any chocolate in your bag?
Yeah.
But before we join Betty and her best friend Bernie, let's meet a real-life hero. Tom Caulfield has been working very hard to make up for lost time. A supervisor in the catering trade, Tom likes nothing better at weekends than setting up his bric-a-brac market stall. Since he took up adult learning, Tom has progressed from basic literacy skills to awards in creative writing, something he never imagined he'd achieve when he was younger.
I didn't like school. I mean, we had different teachers. One of them would send you out to the bookies or send you out for cigarettes. We had one teacher, I remember him actually saying that there was no point in teaching us because we're from the inner city and we'd end up in Mountjoy from robbing cars anyway, so that kind of put a damper on that. I suppose on his part it was just frustration. It was just easier to ask somebody that could do it rather than find out the reasons why you couldn't do it. I wasn't a very good writer. There was no proper handwriting technique shown to you. I never felt comfortable even reading aloud. So there was rows. There was a good row, a bad row, and an even worse row. So a lot of students slipped through the net and left school not being able to read and write.
Like most people in the same boat, Tom used to disguise his difficulties using a variety of devices.
Every excuse under the sun. You would, oh God, I mean, you forgot your glasses. You can't see, you're getting your eyes tested. You're blind in one eye, or, you know, if somebody says, did you see that in the paper? Oh, I seen that, you load of rubbish, you know. I remember I applied for the job in a garage, and I asked this particular person that was behind the counter, I said to him, could you fill out the application form? And I automatically felt as if he was having a bit of a laugh, himself and the other fellow, you know. So they were asking me different types of questions and all that type of thing. They weren't even writing the answers down, you know. But at the end of the interview, like, I mean, I just turned to say goodbye and they were already tearing the application up and just throwing her in the bin. I always kept it a secret that I couldn't read nor write. There was one person I told, and he taught me how to write my signature and how to write my name properly, because I remember the first time I got paid by cheque, I brought it to the bank and I had to sign the back of it and I couldn't. So I wrote in very, very bad block capitals my name on the back of it. And the fella in the bank just said, I mean, that's, you know, he says, I'll cash it for you, all right, but he said, you know, you really have to learn how to do a proper signature, otherwise people can forge that if you lost it, you know.
See, they're still looking for the survivors of that plane crash.
Yeah, God love them. They must have walked off to try and find help.
They should have never left the scene of the accident. That's the first rule for disaster survivors.
How did you know that?
I've been studying. I was thinking of doing a certificate in first aid. Mind you, the disaster situation has not occurred that I couldn't find my way out of. And save the life of everyone with me.
Well, I hope you're never proved wrong.
I'd say I'd be a real life hero.
Betty, if we got stuck in the desert, you could certainly keep us all laughing until the real help arrived, but you're not exactly the heroic type.
Go on, ask me any question you like about survival or first aid. Go on, I dare you.
Okay. What to do for shock?
Keep the person warm and give them something sweet to eat or drink.
How do you make a sling for an arm injury?
I'll show you. Or I could choose a belt or a tea towel.
Very impressive. Well, what about burns?
Cream? Burn spray? No, I know, butter. My mother always put butter on it.
Look, you better read up about burns if you want to be a survivor or a hero.
Western coast. For tomorrow again, more sunny spells, a bright day again.
First, cool all burns by running them under cold water for 10 minutes. Do not put anything fatty or greasy like butter on the burn. Thanks, Mammy. Do not puncture blisters. There's nothing to this. I'll have me first aid cert in no time. That'll show Bernie.
Betty was reading up on the treatment for burns and discovered that there are things to do and things not to do when dealing with a burn. Do's and don'ts are often written as lists. The word do at the top of the list means that you do all the things in that list. So in this list, you do hold the burn under cold running water for 10 minutes. Do remove rings. You do remove tight clothing. And you do rinse chemicals with running water so that the water runs away from the body. Do not at the top of the list means, of course, you don't do any of the following. Do not put any cream, fat or ointment on the burn. Do not burst any blisters. Do not put cotton wool or plasters on the burn, and do not remove clothing if it's sticking to the burn. It's easier to remember information in do and don't lists if you write it out. Do at the top of the list means do all the following things, and do not at the top of the list means don't do any of the following. If you'd like to have another look at this list, check out page 12 of the Read Write Now workbook and you can run through your do's and don'ts again. And while you're at it, page 13 of the workbook has another exercise on first aid treatment for burns. Read each line and then put a tick in the box next to the instruction which you believe is correct. So, for example, question 2 reads, do put cotton wool on the burn. This isn't correct. You should not put any kind of fluffy material on a burn. The next line reads, do put a plaster on the burn. Again, this is wrong. You shouldn't put anything which will stick to the skin near a burn. The last line reads, do not burst any blisters. This is the correct line, so a tick goes in this box.
Hello? You right?
Jesus, Mary and Joseph, what did you do to your face?
What? What do you mean?
You're the colour of a beetroot.
It's only a bit of sun.
You'll die of sunstroke if we don't do something.
I'm fine. Listen, I've been reading up all about burns. Ask me any question you like.
What would the best sun protection factor be for your skin type on a day like today?
Bernie, would you ever stop going on about a bit of sun?
Would you ever take a look at yourself in the mirror for a moment?
Oh, look. I did get a bit of colour, didn't I?
Just finish my list. There's a chemist in the shopping centre. We'll get you something for that face of yours. Now, let's see.
My book says anything with aloe vera in it is good for a bit of sun.
I think we should wait for the expert.
All we have to do is read the label.
Factor 3? Sure, that's as good as useless. Here. That's more like it.
Sunblock. Sure, that's for no tan at all. Ah, come on. Bit of sun never hurt anyone.
A bit of sun, for God's sake, Betty. You're bright red.
We'll ask the pharmacist.
Sun protection lotion comes in a variety of strengths. Some block out the burning rays of the sun altogether, and some only give very minor protection. All sun lotions have sun protection factor number. This is sometimes shortened to the letters SPF. The higher the number, the greater the amount of sun protection. For example, this factor 3 lotion gives very low protection. Factor 12 gives medium protection, and this factor 20 gives high protection. Some lotions are also water resistant or waterproof, which means they last longer if you're in and out of the water. But be careful, they won't last all day, so look out for the directions on the back of the bottle, which will tell you how often you should reapply it. The level of sun protection you need depends on your skin type and the amount of sun you'll be exposed to. If you're in any doubt, especially if you're buying lotion for children because their skin's very sensitive, just ask your chemist and he or she will be glad to advise you.
I decided to go and get help after about a year after I gave up the drink. I was an alcoholic for the best part of my younger life. I decided enough was enough, and I gave up the drink, and I needed to find some sort of system where I could read and write and get educated. I didn't know what to expect now when I went in, first of all. Again, the old thing came in about special schools and this type of thing. I didn't know whether you'd meet your old schoolmaster saying, I've got you now, get in here, you know. But she was very pleasant, very nice, and she spoke to me as if I was a human being and not some fool. After being through school, you got the daylights lettered out of you, and you were constantly told that you were useless for just even spelling a word wrong or having bad handwriting or whatever the case was. When I got my junior cert, I mean, it was like, I mean, a dream come true. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I won a certificate from the DCU. I entered a creative writing competition, and I developed a love for poetry. I would love to be a writer. I think writing poetry gives you a chance to express yourself and express your feelings. And sometimes to write a poem to somebody is far better than writing even a personal letter, because you can say so much more in a poem. As a tree, I yearn to be free, to unlock the soul that's trapped inside of me.
Hi, Miss McGee.
Hi.
What'd you do to your hand?
I burnt it bacon.
I hope you ran it under the cold water.
What?
How did you do that?
I was taking a cake out of the oven with a damn cloth and got distracted when the phone rang. Shall I be grand when I get a couple of painkillers?
You didn't put any cream on underneath that bandage, did you?
Don't worry, Mrs. McGee. I'll sort that out for you now. God, Betty, what happened to your face?
Nothing. I just got a bit of sun. I'll be brown as a berry tomorrow.
Well, you should be very careful. The sun can be very dangerous.
You try telling her?
You're a fine one to be giving advice about burns.
I didn't do it on purpose. I was studying in the garden.
I say you could be sore tomorrow. Here, you better have some of this. It's after sun. Should soothe the pain.
Aloe vera.
Thanks.
Now, Mrs. McGee, let's have a look at this hand. Well, Betty is right, you know. The best thing to do with a burn is to run it under the cold tap for at least 10 minutes. Let's have a look.
I know what to do. It's very sore. It's very tender.
Okay. Well, when you go home, put on this special bandage. And for the pain, take some painkillers. Are you on any other medication?
No, sure, I've great health.
Okay. 2 of these 3 times a day.
2, 3 times a day. 2, 3 times a day. I find this very confusing.
Okay, well, the best way to remember is this. When you sit down for your meals, for your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, take 2 tablets before you eat.
I have it.
Okay.
Right, thanks very much.
Right,
Thanks
cheerio.
very much. Cheerio.